Hi, my name is Becky Steele, and I completed the front-end web development track with Code Louisville, which includes the Treehouse curriculum. Over the 12 weeks, we were encouraged to build a project that aligned with something we were interested in or a passion of ours. So I chose to use NASA's Astronomy Photo of the Day API for my project. Let's take a look.
I'm going to open my project using Google Chrome, and this is what it looks like. So this is fancy Astronomy Photo of the Day as done by me. It pulls in the NASA Astronomy Photo of the Day API and captures a few different elements of that object, the title, the date, the main image that you see here, as well as the explanation down below. And that's essentially it. So when you click on the image, you get this beautiful full modal window view that really kind of accentuates the content. So and you can click the modal to make it go away. And again, the title, the date, the image, and the explanation down below all utilize client-side dynamic presentation and manipulation of the DOM. Speaking of manipulation of the DOM, let's take a look at the code. This is my code used in Sublime Text. First file, my index.html, kind of a run-of-the-mill HTML structure, but again does include some elements that target accessibility, responsive design, as well as performance optimization, such as linking directly to the jQuery library instead of importing it, etc. So basic declarations at the top, meta tags, links. You'll notice that script tags are actually not at the top. I stashed them in the bottom for performance optimization best practices. Going down the rest of the page, there's a brief header, and then you begin the DOM manipulation elements from the API. And this section here is actually, you'll see this in a minute, includes some custom JavaScript to manipulate the DOM. The way the date object is recorded is not palatable or presentable, so I modified that with some custom JavaScript, which we'll see. You have a main container on the page. The API can return two media types. One can be image and the other can be video. So if image, then this gets manipulated in the DOM. If it's a video, the iframe portion gets manipulated in the DOM. This is where the explanation would come in. And then from there, the API elements and the DOM manipulation are done. There are just a few footer elements down below, and we'll see those. I use the style.css, and I'm showing you the version that is not minified, although these files are minified and hosted on GitHub pages. So I just wanted to demonstrate my thought process. For the styling, there are main element selectors, just kind of your basic run-of-the-mill selector target pairs for HTML. And then down below there's a section dedicated to specifically targeting the API returned elements and styling those. The footer element selectors are shown. The light box, which is the modal that you saw that displays the image in full view over the body, is styled here. And then media queries, and I did media queries in portrait and landscape orientation for 320 pixels to 480 and on up to pretty large screen sizes, 1200 to 1500 pixels. Again, portrait and orientation and landscape orientation. My app.js looks like this. It uses the Ajax Request from NASA's 8-pod API, as I mentioned. So I have an API key, and this is the API URL that I send when making the request. I use document-ready functions prior to embedding the JavaScript at the bottom of my HTML file, so they did stay, but I believe they got minified. The Ajax Request. This is my callback function. It handles, depending on the media type returned, again from the API, what you actually set the DOM to do in the HTML file. This is the custom JavaScript for the date formatting. Captures the date today as a date object, and then does some formatting. So it takes an array of days, an array of months, and sets that date nicely on the DOM. And the final JavaScript is the modal itself. Again, document ready at the top. It's a lightbox element. So we declare those elements at the top, append those to the overlay, append those to the body, and then capture the click event on the way to the image that I want to display in the modal. It also captures the title returned from the API and hides the overlay when the object is clicked. So again, just overview, headed back to the page. This is the project. You can see those elements in action here. And then this does size for responsive design. All the way down to mobile. And you can see this hosted at beckysteele.github.io.
Thanks for taking a look at my project. Some of the next steps for my project include additional performance optimization. The API call is a little bit slower, as well as the image rendering compared to the rest of the file transfer, so I'll work on that. Next steps for me professionally include learning Python. I want to get the full stack experience that astronomers and astrophysicists are using when they're doing their research, which leads me to what I'm hoping to get out of this. In order to be active in the field, I want to bring my software development skills to the table. Again, my name is Becky Steele. I'm a graduate of the Code Louisville front-end web development track, and thanks for watching.